So let's get started. First of all, there's some reading to do. The purpose of that piece of writing was to introduce the topic that we are going to deal with today. We're going to warm up the seminar a little bit by looking at some English jokes, which are called Doctor jokes. And they're very popular, often with kids. And they tend to be about different possible meanings of words. Okay, so first of all, let's look at this joke, the cartoon joke here. This is a typical doctor joke where the patient tells the doctor what his problem is and the doctor gives some kind of an answer. Now, the idea for you is to read it and try to see why it's funny. As you can see, look, the patient has a banana in one ear, a carrot in the other ear, and some sausages in his nose. What do you think? Is it funny? Or you're not sure? You don't really understand the joke. So, as you can see, the patient is making a mistake with his food, isn't he? He's putting the food in his ear, in his nose, and it should go in his mouth. Yes? Now, when a doctor says you are not eating properly, what they mean is you're not eating healthy food normally. But what makes it funny is, in this case, the patient is not eating properly because he's not putting the food in his mouth. He's putting the food in the wrong place. That's the joke. Now, in our own language, of course, any English child would understand that. In fact, it's a kind of a school kid's joke, a school kid level joke. But when you're a non-native speaker, it becomes much more difficult to see the double meanings. Okay, now look on the left at these jokes here. The idea now, you've got to match the four doctor jokes to their punchlines. So you've got to match the four jokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the funny answers in A, B, C, and D. This time, write your answers in the chat. So write what you think. Try to match the part A setups with the part B, the punchlines, which are the funny parts. And we don't want to take too long on this. This is just the warm-up to try to get you thinking. Oh, very good. Is it Nonapan? I think you've got them all correct. That's it. So, doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains. The answer is, of course, B. Pull yourself together, which has two meanings, doesn't it? You pull curtains together, but to pull yourself together also means don't be crazy. Doctor, everyone keeps ignoring me. The answer is, of course, C. Next patient, please. The doctor ignores him, doesn't listen to him, and calls for the next patient. Doctor, I keep thinking I'm invisible. The answer is D. The doctor says, who said that? Because the doctor can hear him, but he can't see him. He is invisible. Doctor, I've broken my arm in several places. The answer is A. When the patient says he's broken his arm in several places, he means different places on his arm. But the doctor understands it as different places, different locations. Yeah? Okay, let's move on now to actually looking at some texts and trying to identify the type of texts. So, next slide. Recognizing text types. Okay, so here we have 8 texts, different pieces of reading. And one of them is a poem, one of them is an advertisement, one of them is a product review, one of them is from a detective story, one is from a children's story, a children's fairy tale, one of them is a joke, one of them is a news article, and one of them is a formal work-related email. So the idea now is match the 8 text types to their actual text below, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, V, yes, I think you've got that 100% correct. Well done, V. I'm just looking at your message. Yeah, that's it. So I'll write the numbers of the text next to each of the text types in the box. Look. So the poem is number 7. It's actually a very famous English poem called Daffodils. The advertisement is number 5. The product review is number 2. The detective story is number 3. The children's fairy tale is, of course, number 8. Talking animals and flying foxes. The joke is number 4. The news article is number 1. And the formal email, of course, is the last one, number 6. Okay, my next question is, which one do you like? Do you like any of them? Is there one of them that you particularly like? Of course, the most famous one of these 8 pieces of writing is number 7. And in England, all school children have to learn and study this at school. Everybody loves the idea of lonely as a cloud. And daffodils, by the way, are a kind of yellow flower that comes out in England in spring. We'll see these pieces of writing again, but first of all, next we're going to look at the writer's tone. Tone is really the writer's feeling, or what the writer wants you to feel. And so really there are as many tones as there are human feelings. So a tone can be sarcastic, which is kind of negative and critical. It can be optimistic, pessimistic. It could be friendly, or it could be impersonal, no real feeling, not really friendly. It could be critical, saying something's no good. It could be enthusiastic, saying something's really, really good. It could be positive, negative, serious, funny, polite. Could even be angry. It can be formal, like the kind of thing you write to your boss or to an important person. It could be informal, like the way you talk to your friends on Facebook or on social media. It could be emotional. You could be expressing feeling or something you might write to your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Yeah, these are all just examples of tone. So look now at these two pairs of texts. All the texts, the two pairs are on similar topics, like the first one is that they're both about a concert, but they have different tones. So see if you can match a tone to each of the pieces of writing. So if we look at text number one, the concert was an unforgettable night of energy and emotion. Now, I think we can say this is clearly positive and enthusiastic, isn't it? The writer obviously enjoyed the concert and thought it was really good. Yeah. What about text two? What could we say about text two? So, how did the writer feel about the concert?
Emotional.
Yeah, did they? When it says
Negative.
it dragged on, that means it was boring for hours. Yeah. So I don't think emotional's not really quite right there, unless we think being bored is kind of an emotion, yes, but emotional really means like strong feelings. First of all, text two there, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
It's negative, definitely. They didn't enjoy the concert, did they? So it's definitely a negative review. Yes, negative. And I think also we can say it's critical. It's saying that it wasn't very good, isn't it? So it's also critical. But same topic, different tones. I think the next one, it's about a restaurant. They're both about a restaurant. Yeah. But again, one of them is positive, one of them is negative. Look at the second set. I couldn't believe how amazing the service was, friendly staff, and delicious food. Positive or negative? Exactly, Prakon Tong. Optimistic and positive. That's it. Okay. How about the next one? The waiter was unfriendly and forgot our order twice. When it finally arrived, the food was cold. It's definitely negative. Anything else that you could choose from the words in the box to describe it? It's negative and it's also a little bit, yes, angry. That's right. You can tell that the customer is a bit angry. The waiter was unfriendly, the food was cold. Exactly. Okay, look at the last, the final pair. Again, this is a description of a school reunion. Yeah. Number one is quite formal, it's polite, but it's a bit impersonal. So it's not very friendly. It's like a business email, yeah? Number one. That's it. Yes, Annalyn, you're right. Text two is the friendly one. So text two is friendly, it's enthusiastic, a fantastic evening, and it's quite informal. We know it's informal because it says thanks so much. Yeah. It calls it a party. It uses very positive words like fantastic, and it uses phrasal verbs like showed up to and we all got on together. So those are informal phrases. So really, they're both kind of positive, but text one is more formal and a little bit impersonal, like a business email type thing. But text two is like talking to a friend. It's more like a social media message. Yeah? Okay, so that's tone. Let's just move on now to the next slide, and we'll look at the writer's purpose and the audience. Okay, recognizing the writer's intent, the writer's purpose, and the intended audience, who the writer thinks the readers will be. That's the audience. So the writer's intent or purpose is the reason for writing something. There are too many reasons to list for writing. There are many, many, many reasons why people write. I write for a hobby. It's my hobby. So reasons for writing, the intent could include to inform, to give information, to advise, or to recommend, to criticize, to warn somebody that there's a danger, yeah, to request something, to ask for something, to express love. You might write a love letter, to suggest something, to persuade people, to dissuade, to try to encourage you not to do something, like not to create too much pollution, for example, to promote something. These are all possible reasons for writing, and that's the intent or the writer's purpose. And it's important to know that to really understand what the writer is writing. Yeah. Now, the purpose, of course, is closely related to the intended audience, the readers. Now, again, this could be many, many things, couldn't it? The reader could just be one person, like a teacher or an examiner or a close friend or a family member. It might be a group like your colleagues, your workmates, your team members, fellow enthusiasts, people who enjoy the same things as you, like football fans or people who do the same hobby or who like art or music, members of particular professions. There's writing that is particularly for doctors or lawyers or engineers. Yeah? So the intended audience is important. It could include everyone in the world. Some writing is really for the general public, anyone who wants to read it. So both the intended audience and the purpose are important considerations for the writer in deciding which tone to use, and for the reader in comprehending the full meaning of the text. For example, if you're reading a children's fairy story or a joke, and you don't really know that it's a joke or a fantasy fairy tale, it could be very confusing, couldn't it? Yeah. So in the next exercise, we're going to examine the writer's purpose, the audience, and the tone. And we're going to look at those same pieces of writing that we looked at the beginning. Okay, so if we look at number one, if you remember, it's from a news article, probably in a local newspaper or a local news website. Yeah. So you've got three questions there. What is the purpose? What is the tone? Who is the audience? Let me help you and do the first one for you so you get the idea. The purpose is to inform, isn't it? To inform about the news. Yeah? The tone is what we call factual. It's just giving facts, isn't it? It's not giving any opinions. It's not saying something is good or bad or positive or negative. It's just giving facts because it's to inform. And the audience is news readers, people who like to read the news, isn't it? And probably local news readers. So I think we could say they're news readers but they're not all over the world, are they? Because it's about a vegetable garden in a particular town, so they're probably local. Purpose? To inform, to give information, the tone just factual, and the audience is local newsreaders, local people who are interested in the news. Okay, so now let's have a look at number 2. What's the purpose of the piece of writing, do you think? What's the tone? Who are the audience? Now, number 2 is definitely informal. Prakon, you're right. But I don't think it's friendly. They're not happy about the headphones they bought, are they? So it's informal, but it's negative, isn't it? It's informal, it's negative, or we could give it another word, which is a negative word. It's critical. It's criticizing the headphones and saying they're not very good. Don't buy them. Yeah? What's the purpose, do you think? What could we say is the purpose there? What is the writer doing? Certainly criticizing. I think we could use another word. I think the main purpose really, is to complain, isn't it? This writer, they bought the headphones, they were disappointed with the sound quality, and then after only 2 weeks, they were broken. The left side headphone stopped working. So they're complaining, aren't they? And it's the opposite of recommending, isn't it? They're saying don't buy them. They're not worth the price. That's it. Who's the audience for number 2? Customers, that's it. Headphone customers, precisely. Anybody who's looking to buy a headphone. Okay. Now, number 3, if you remember, is a detective story. Yeah. A police or a crime story. So probably from a story or from a novel. So really, this is the same as any kind of fiction, any kind of novel or story that you might read. The purpose is to entertain, isn't it? It's for people who like reading for pleasure because they enjoy reading. And particularly, maybe they enjoy reading detective, police type stories. Yeah? It looks like it's a story about a murder, doesn't it? Yeah? Tone. Any idea? What kind of feeling does it give you? Does it give you a feeling? I think the feeling is a bit scary, isn't it? It's scary and it's a mystery because it's a detective story, isn't it? Someone had been here recently, someone who didn't want to be seen. There's a secret person, isn't there? So it's a bit scary and it's a mystery. The audience, people who enjoy fiction, the fiction readers. Okay, number 4 is a joke. The purpose here is, of course, comedy, to make you laugh. Yeah? The tone is playful, and the audience could be really any adults. I don't think children would get it because they're not married, but adults, and I think particularly men. It's like an adult joke for men who are probably married. Okay, number 5 is an advertisement. So the purpose here is easy. The purpose is to sell product. And the product is obviously some kind of coffee making machine, isn't it? The Aroma Brew 3000. Hot coffee in just 30 seconds, 20% discount, 20% off. The tone is positive, of course, enthusiastic, and we could say persuasive. It's trying to persuade you to buy it. And the audience, coffee drinkers. If you don't drink coffee, it's of no interest to you, is it? It's for coffee drinkers, people who like coffee. Number 6 is an email, a work type email, and it's giving information, isn't it? So really the purpose is to inform about this conference. The tone is formal, and I think we could say businesslike. The audience is conference attendees, isn't it? It's for people who are going to the conference. Now, number 7, the poem. Again, I think the main purpose, like with fiction, is to entertain. The tone is a bit more difficult, isn't it? Any ideas for number 7? I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, valleys and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Like I said, daffodils are a kind of yellow flower that you find in England. Number 7, yeah, it's lonely. It's definitely, he's talking about solitude, isn't he? Yeah. Although I think he's not really lonely. I think he's enjoying being alone. Yeah. But yes, it's kind of about loneliness, isn't it? It's kind of the topic. Yeah. But I think because he's a poet, I think we could say that, but yes, I think lonely is a good word there. And I think imaginative as well. You can almost picture. It kind of makes you see a picture, doesn't it? Of him alone. He's obviously in nature somewhere. He's enjoying the beauty of the nature. And uh, I think it's a lovely image, lonely as a cloud, like one little cloud all alone in the sky. I think he's trying to entertain, but he's also trying to make something beautiful, isn't he? Yeah. And the audience, well, probably not many people these days enjoy poetry, you know. I don't know if you read poetry, and I think a few of you are from Thailand, aren't you? So I don't know if you read poetry much in Thailand, but it's not popular so much now in my country. But yes, poetry readers, exactly, poem readers. Or we'd use the word poetry, by the way, which describes the art form. So a poem is just one individual piece of poem writing, but poetry is the whole art form, like fiction and prose, and so poetry readers. Now, the last one, of course, again, it's a story, isn't it? So the purpose is to entertain, reading for pleasure, for enjoyment. Yeah. And it's describing a world that's not real, isn't it? Talking animals, flying foxes. Yeah. So it's definitely to entertain and to enjoy. Tone is a little bit more difficult. Any ideas? Imaginative, I agree. It's imaginative. And I think I'd like to add an extra word. It's magical, isn't it? Magical. It's like a magic world. Yeah. And the audience is children. That's it. It's to make children go to sleep at night. Read them a story and they go to sleep. Okay. So that's more or less the end of the exercises. I hope that's been useful for you.